Is Cursive Writing Lesson 1. I am a teacher at a private school in Washington State, and from time to time we get students from other schools, primarily public schools, who come to 4th grade to our school for the first time and they don't know how to write cursive, which is a problem because in our school we start teaching cursive in 2nd grade. So by the time our students get to 4th grade, they're really proficient in cursive, which can put the new students at a disadvantage. And so I wanted to provide some videos for those students that they can practice the letters at home. Also for those students who just feel like they still need practice, this would be a great opportunity for them to practice at home. You can pause the video whenever you need to, rewind, whatever, until you can master writing these letters in cursive. So the first letters we're going to cover in the first lesson is what I call the letters from the I family. They all start the same way. They start at the bottom line and then curve up to the midline, except the T goes to the top line. The first thing I wanted to cover is the 5 things that we need to remember when we're doing handwriting and printing or cursive. And I like to remind the students throughout the year of those 5 most important things. So I have a paper that we have in our curriculum at the beginning of the year. It's called Be a 5-Star Student. And it says, do you want your writing to look its very best? Here are the 5 basic areas you should consider when evaluating your handwriting form. So the number 1 is alignment. Each letter should sit on the line, not above it or below it. Unless, of course, it should go below the line, like the G or the J or so on. The next one is number 2, slant. The letter slant should be uniform and consistent. To help you determine direction, draw a straight line down the middle of each letter in a sentence. One thing that I like to teach students at the beginning of the year is just to tilt their paper, and that will help them with the slant. Right-handers, you would tilt it slightly this direction. If you're left-handed, you'll do the opposite, and that will help you get the slant. Number 3 is size. Since we're doing cursive, we'll skip to the cursive section underneath the manuscript section. Capital letters are all 1 full space tall. The lowercase letters B, D, F, H, K, L, and T are also 1 space tall, and all the other lowercase letters are half a space tall. Also, any letter that goes below the line should extend for half a space and touch the top of the next line. And then shape is number 4. Letters should be consistent and easy to read. Minor differences from the model are okay, but all your letters must be formed with the proper strokes to avoid developing bad habits. So that's another thing that we look at when at our school when we're grading their handwriting are the letters shaped correctly. And then the 5th one is spacing. Letters should be clearly identifiable. They should not run into each other or be too far apart. Each word should be separated from the next word. Remember, a little more space is needed between sentences than between words. And then it says, follow the above guidelines, focusing on consistency and quality, and you'll be a 5-star student. And so those are the things I wanted to cover first before we move on to how to form any of the letters. Are those 5 things that we need to keep in mind. Alignment, letters should sit on the line. Slant, each letter should be slanted slightly to the right. Size, make sure that the letters are the correct size. Shape, the letters should be shaped correctly, and then there should be spacing, correct spacing between each letter, and then a little bit more space between each word. All right, so we'll move on to the letters that we're going to cover today. I'll put a blank piece of paper under here. And the first letter we're going to start today is the I. I'm going to skip that top line because it doesn't have a very top line, so we'll start on the second one. With all of these letters in this family, you're going to start on the bottom line, and it's a little curve. You kind of curve up until you get to the midline. With the I, you just follow it back down, and then when you get towards the bottom, you're going to go out the other direction and put your little hook on it, and then you dot it. So the I is very simple. Oops, I need to slant my paper. Just looks like so. And some of the kids say, hey, it looks like a kitty cat face. Kind of does. If this is the mouth, and then the dot would be the nose. If you put eyes together, this is how you do it. Now, it kind of looks like a W, although we finish our W a little bit differently. To tell the W apart from the I, though, you just put the dots on, and then you have how you need to do it. I always teach the students to wait until you dot your I's and cross your T's until you're done with your whole word. And then you can go back. Because, of course, cursive is designed for you to not have to lift up your pencil. So the minimal amount of times you lift up your pencil is the best. It helps you get down your words faster. So there's the I. The next letter we'll cover is the J. The J is similar to the I, at least it starts the same way. Only when you come down, instead of curving and finishing at the bottom line, you're going to go straight down, go below the bottom line, and go to the top of the next line. And then you're going to put your tail, and then you dot it. When you cross the line that you already made, make sure you cross it at the very bottom line. So this is how our J looks. So just start making an I, go straight down, then you do your tail, curve around, cross at the bottom line, and dot, then dot. If we put J's together, it looks like this. Dot, dot, dot. And we can make some nonsense letters. We can put the J and the I together. Or you can also put I and J together. Dot, dot. So there's the I and the J. The next letter is the P. The P starts the same way, like you're making an I. Only with the P, you're going to go straight down. You're going to go to the top of the next line. And then it's kind of tricky. It's kind of like the J, only instead of crossing at the bottom line, you're going to follow it all the way up. You're going to make your pencil go all the way up to where you at the midline, and then you're going to curve around and then through. This you might want to pause and see it more than once because it's kind of tricky. This is one of the harder letters. Some curriculums just teach the P like this. When I taught in public schools, this is how I taught the P. It's not the wrong way. There's no really right or wrong way to do it. It's just that this curriculum teaches the little loop at the bottom instead. So let's see. If I did a nonsense word, I could do J-I-P just to practice putting letters together. And then dot the I and dot the J. All right, so the next letter is the S. Oh no, the R. The R is next. The R is pretty simple. You go up to the midline like you're making an I, and all you have to do from here is just do a little slanty line. Goes a little bit below the midline and then back through. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's a little wide. I'm making it a little narrower this time. And that's the lowercase r. If I put some r's together, this is how that looks. All right, and with the R, let's see, we could make rip. R-I-P. And then dot your I at the end. The next letter is the S. The S is very simple as well. You just start up making the I, but then you go the opposite direction down. This is a diagonal line going up to the midline, then do the opposite direction for the diagonal line going down. Kind of looks like a mountain, but then you come in and it's nice and curved. You touch the line where you started and then come through. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some mistakes. Well, let me put the 3 S's together and we'll talk about mistakes next. Here's 1, 2, 3. The S is a tricky one. Some students just get bad habits with the S's. One thing that some students do that is wrong is they want to round it. They want to round the S out, and that's not good. Another mistake some of them make is they want to go far back and they go to the left and then they come around like this. That's not okay either. We want it to go just diagonal, one direction, stop, then go the opposite direction down. So you don't want to go back to the left. Another thing some students want to do is they want to make a little loopy at the bottom. No loopies, no. So we have to make sure to not do those things. Let's see, we could make, I'm trying to think of a word, we could do sir, S-I-R. Okay, so that's how we make the lowercase s. For the lowercase t, you have to go all the way to the top line and then follow it all the way down till you get to the bottom and then curve it out and then cross your T at the midline. So it's 1, 2, 3, cross. 1, 2, 3, cross. To put T's together, this is how it looks. And then cross, cross, cross. So we could do, let's try to think of a word here. How about tis? My country, 'tis of thee, T-I-S. Or we could do sit. Okay, so one thing I see with T's, sometimes the students don't follow the line back down to make it look like one line. They want to separate it up here. And that looks more like an A than a T. So that is not okay. So you have to make sure to follow that line down till you get to the very bottom. And then you separate. The next letter is the U. The U starts like the I. And then this even part is even the same like the I. The only difference is it's like making two I's, basically. The only difference is you don't dot them, and then they're not I's, they're U's. So here's one U, here's another U, here's a third U. If I put them together, it looks like this. There's 1, 2, 3. And so we could make put, P, U, T. So there's how you do the U. And then the last letter in this family is the W. The W is just basically making 3 I's, but then the way we can tell the difference between a bunch of I's or a bunch of U's is this is how you finish the W. You just go halfway down and then you go back to the midline. So this just helps us differentiate the U's from the I's from the W's. Otherwise it gets kind of confusing. So the W ends not going back down to the bottom line, just a little bit of hook at the end. A mistake that kids make, well, let me do 3 together. This will help us to see how it helps us to differentiate the W from U's. See how you can tell each W apart when you do it this way. A mistake that I still have 4th graders make is they want to go into the W this way. Some of the letters do go up and over, and I'll cover that family later. However, the W is not one of them. We go into the W going under, not over. So that's a mistake, a real common mistake that I still see my 4th graders making. So from these letters, you can make several words. So I have some that I have here that we can practice, that we have it already. One of them would be trust. It's a nice long word. To do trust, we would go T, R, U, S, T, and I just noticed my R didn't go down a little bit. Sometimes I, just from habit, when someone's been doing cursive for their whole life and all of a sudden there's a new way of doing it. Sometimes you revert back to your old way you were taught. The next word, purr. P U R R. So that could be a word you could practice. Another one, rips. R I P S. And I'm sure you could come up with more. Oh, one more would be like strut. I saw the rooster strut across the barnyard. S-T-R-U-T. All right, so those are the letters in the I family. They are, again, I, J, P, R, S, T, U, and W. So those are some letters you can practice until you get, well, I never say practice makes perfect, but practice makes better. Just keep practicing and practicing until you get better and better. All right, so that's lesson 1. Thanks for joining me. I will be working on lesson 2 next. Thanks. Bye.